Good evening, it's May 19th, 2016, and I'm your host, Stephen Anastas. Welcome to the Local Live. New York Civil Liberties Union gets Guatemalan student temporary enrollment at Mamaroneck High School. Both school budgets passed, the details coming up. Larchmont officials recognize our Mamaroneck High School's athletes. This week, the Rhinebeck baseball team made our LMC Varsity Sports Play of the Week. A Mamaroneck school board candidate plagiarizes his introduction letter to the community. Nick Juka finds out the stories so you don't have to for this week's In the Media. Did you miss STEMtastic Saturday? Our own Rebecca Paganini brings us the highlights. This week, we feature Pinots Palette, where you can paint, sip some wine, and maybe be the next Van Gogh. Mamaroneck hosts its first Relay for Life to Fight Cancer event. We'll learn about Relay for Life and discuss the details for this event in our live roundtable.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is the Local Live.
A 16-year-old Guatemalan student's attempt to enroll in Mamaroneck High School has seen a breakthrough. The teenager had been denied entrance to MHS on the grounds of already having completed the highest level of education in his home country. The New York Civil Liberties Union then appealed that decision to the state on the student's behalf. Earlier this week, the state education commissioner, Mary Ellen Elia, decided that MHS must allow this student to enroll at the school at least temporarily. Gisela Mariquin, the regional organizer for the NYCLU, explained to us the Guatemalan educational system and helped us to understand some of the confusion surrounding the case.
So at the end of the list of courses and the grades for the year, it says that he has completed what is called Tercero Básico, which is a part of the secondary schooling that we have in Guatemala. So the structure in Guatemala is after elementary school in 6th grade, you enter what are called básicos. So it's 1, 2, and 3, right? Those 3 years, you are building a foundation of courses. So you take the math, the English, the literature, the social studies and sciences that kids in this country usually take between 7th and 12th, right? And then the last 3 years of secondary school in Guatemala are still high school courses, but they are geared toward a vocational track. So those, include people could go on a track to be if they want to be a teacher eventually in college, they could begin some courses to learn about being a teacher, agricultural engineering, things that will lead them to a college education or further vocational certificates.
The Civil Liberties representative took us through the process of appealing the student's decision to the state.
That required sort of looking at again, the language used in the letter that was sent to her from the district, and we were appealing that decision not to accept him, and to gather additional documents and justifications to say this is not a high school diploma. And what she did supply to the school district was actually a transcript with the grades and courses he had completed in Guatemala, his home country. So it was not a diploma of any sort. And so that's, what the commissioner has now to review and still make a decision. But part of our appeal also included the ask to have this student enrolled while this decision was made, to have him enrolled in the district in which he lives. He does have 2 other siblings in the district, so it was a burden for the family to be taking him to a school that had taken him in, which was New Rochelle, where he used to live, and then the other students travel to the Mamaroneck School District. In the morning, getting all the kids to school was a hassle. So that was what was approved a few days ago by the commissioner. So he's now enrolled in the school district pending the decision. So if for any reason the case proves that the school is in their right to deny enrollment, then he would have to pay some sort of tuition for the months that he's going to spend in the school district.
However, this decision is only temporary and will not impact the final determination, which will be made in the coming months. Debbie Mineta, a spokesperson for the Mamaroneck School District, said, "We continue to believe strongly that all children have the right to a public education. However, we recognize that in accordance with the Commissioners of Education's regulations, we are expected to make determinations of eligibility that may serve to exclude some students from enrolling in our school system. We'll make sure to give you updates on this story as they come in." On Tuesday, there was barely any pushback against Mamaroneck School District's $133 million annual budget for the 2016-2017 school year. It passed overwhelmingly, with 85% of voters approving the budget. The new budget, which is almost $750,000 smaller than last year's, will decrease the Mamaroneck school tax rate by an estimated 4.57%. In an email to the district, Dr. Schatz thanked the community for coming together and approving the budget process. Quote, "Maintaining the quality of education we provide in Mamaroneck schools is our priority. Once again, we appreciate the level of community involvement with the budget process leading up to today and thank all the community members who came out to vote." The Rhinebeck School District also passed their annual $40 million budget on Tuesday, with over 80% voting to approve. In other school district news, Rena Bader and Sari Winter edged out Michael Rosenbaum and were elected to the Mamaroneck School Board. Members and coaches of the Mamaroneck High School girls 4x800-meter relay team, girls field hockey, and boys ice hockey teams were recognized at this week's Village of Larchmont Board of Trustees meeting. The relay team was commended for their national championship, while the field hockey team and ice hockey teams were acknowledged for their championships on the state level. Official village proclamations were presented by Mayor Lorraine Walsh to track coach Robert Morrissey, field hockey coach John Savage, and ice hockey coach Mike Schiaparelli, who each said a few words about their team's successes before the players were introduced and given certificates.
You know, someone asked me the other day, and in fact he said it was a conversation on the train down in New York, why are the Mamaroneck schools doing so well in athletics? Well, you know, I've thought about it, and one of the big things is because there's just so much support in the community. Mamaroneck and Larchmont.
Here's Nick Juka with what's trending in our In the Media segment.
It's National Bike to Work Week, and Mamaroneck is one of hundreds of communities nationwide participating in the initiative. The event started this Monday and finishes with Bike to Work Day tomorrow. Biking to work is a great way to stay in shape and save some money in the process. And in fact, if everyone biked only 1 mile a day, the national obesity rate would fall 2.65%. Make sure to dust off your bike seat and leave the car keys at home, Mamaroneck. Read more on the Daily Voice. Did a local school board candidate plagiarize his open letter to the community? According to The Loop, a group of local parents have unearthed a 2012 letter written by an Alabama woman that is practically identical to school board candidate Michael Rosenbaum. He declined to comment on the matter. To see the similarities between the letters, check out The Loop. And get your tissues ready, Mamaroneck, as pollen levels are expected to soar this week. Pollen levels are expected to be very high until the end of the week because of the unusually mild weather. And experts say that the best way to minimize your exposure is to keep your air conditioners on and remain inside. Let's hope for some rain to wash away all of that yellow dust. Find out more on the Daily Voice. In a surprising twist to a middle school trip to DC, 22 New Rochelle students ended up in the hospital with a stomach illness, apparently attributed to a nanovirus. 10 of the students were treated for dehydration, but thankfully they all returned home Friday afternoon. The district is still unclear on the exact cause of the sudden sickness. For more information, visit the New Rochelle patch. And Westchester and Rockland counties are making sure we don't become the new hotspot for the Zika virus this summer. Health officials say that they're taking the same approach as they did for the West Nile virus and have installed 23 traps and 17 monitoring locations in various areas in Rockland County. More information on News 12 Westchester. And want to snag some designer dresses at incredibly low prices? Well, look no further. Rent the Runway is opening up its first pop-up shop in the Lower Hudson Valley starting May 19th. Some of these dresses are up to 90% off, so don't miss your chance to acquire some great brands without making too much of a dent on your bank account. For more information, check out LowHUD. I find the stories so you don't have to. I'm Nick Juka for The Local Live, and this is what's trending in the media.
We have our local trivia question up next, and don't go anywhere because we'll be talking about Mamaronec's first Relay for Life event to fight cancer this weekend.
Good evening and welcome to the Roundtable. I'm Michael Witch, and we're going to talk about a terrific event that's happening this Saturday, May 21st at Harbor Island. It's the first time this is happening in Mamaroneck and Larchmont. It's the Relay for Life. Now, you may have heard about this. It's one of the most popular fundraising events, international fundraising events that the American Cancer Society, I guess, inspires, runs. I've got three guests with me who are going to tell us the whole story about Relay for Life in Mamaroneck. And with me is Kaitlin Chieco and Randi Spatz and Diane Sjostedt. Well, welcome to the Roundtable, and thanks for taking the time out of your evening to talk to us about this. So, Kaitlin, you're listed on the website as the main organizer.
So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm the organizer. I'm the American Cancer Society staff partner. Our Relay for Life events are volunteer driven and staff supported. So I work with a group of volunteers, including Diane and Randi, to plan this great event and bring the mission and awareness to Mamaroneck and Larchmont.
Okay, well then let's go to the volunteer activists. Randi,
Yes.
you're involved because?
Because I relay for my mom and my brothers who were both diagnosed with cancer, all early diagnoses, great outcomes, and I relay so that, and I volunteer for Relay for Life so that there are more early diagnoses, great outcomes, more birthdays, and just more hope and more support for all that are going through it.
And Diane, you've participated in other relays.
Yeah, my daughter introduced me to Relay 3 years ago. We participated in the Pelham Relay, and it was an amazing experience. And I too have cancer in my family. Both parents were cancer survivors, thankfully, and my father-in-law passed away from cancer. So it's very personal. So anytime you've been exposed to these kind of events, you know, it's hard not to want to volunteer and help out.
These days it seems that almost every family is touched in some way by cancer. I read a statistic on the website that said this year 1.6 million Americans will be told you have cancer.
Yeah, it's, you know, the American Cancer Society, along with various other organizations, are doing a great job about lowering the mortality rate for cancer over the past 100 years for the American Cancer Society, but still 1 out of 2 men will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime and 1 out of 3 women.
And I just want to remind our audience, this is our live segment, so if you have a comment or a question on Relay for Life, or you'd like to get involved, or you'd like to donate or participate, even better, now's the time to call. The information to call us or email us or send us a tweet is on your screen and will be for the next 10 or so minutes. So give me the information that people need to know. Randi, maybe you could do this, about the Relay for Life in Mamaroneck.
So our relay is taking place on this Saturday, May 21st. It's going to be down at Harbor Island Park in that grassy area right outside the Stone Building where the Fireman's Carnival has also taken place.
Right.
It's the registration desk opens at 5 p.m. The official ceremony starts at 7 p.m. and there is a very moving luminaria ceremony at 10 p.m. Essentially what we do during the entire evening is we celebrate our survivors, our caregivers, we remember those that we lost, and we fight back against cancer. All are welcome. Even if you don't have a team, we want you to be there. You can come for as little or as long as you want for the entire 12-hour or so period that we're having our relay. And you can come for an hour, stay for the night. You can come for an hour, stay for an hour. Each team that we have there, and we have 20 teams, will have their own on-site fundraiser. Everything from baked goods to music to coffee to, we're not even sure what some of the teams may have. But it really is a fun event, great for families if you want to come at 5 o'clock and see what's happening. It's just a really entirely moving evening.
And 20 teams, how many participants is this, Diane, so far?
Oh, we have,
I think the website said something like over 150?
Yeah.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. And probably more by the time we we get to
Absolutely.
Saturday.
I think
Yeah.
we'll break 200.
Well, we've got a question that's come in via Twitter. It says, can anyone participate in events at Harbor Island if they aren't signed up with a team?
Yes.
Yes, they can.
Yes.
Yes?
We have an on-site registration desk that will be there from 5 p.m. to midnight. You come, sign up. You do not need to be part of a team. You can walk around. You can walk in the relay. You can just visit the other teams that are there. You can see a friend that you happen to know on a team and say, hey, now I want to be a part of your team. So you don't need to be a part to come. This is open for everyone, and the more the merrier.
And I think something that's worth noting too is that we welcome everyone who's been affected by cancer, who has been fortunate enough not to be affected by cancer, and it's free of charge to come on down. We want you to come see what the American Cancer Society is doing in your community and globally.
So there'll be a lot of information given out as
Yes.
well. Now, this is a walk,
It's a walk,
Not
it's
a
not
run.
a run.
and will people be staying the whole night?
Yes, people bring their tents and they pop them up. They're 10 by 10 tents, or they're 3 bedrooms that Randy's bringing, but
Wow.
people camp out, and it's a great time. It's people. The idea behind Relay for Life and why it's overnight is pretty symbolic of that of a cancer patient's journey. So once you hear the words "you have cancer," you know it gets a little dark in your life. You're dealing with a new diagnosis emotionally, and that's why we start around dusk. And we go through the night, and as it gets darker and darker, it's symbolic of a cancer patient going through their treatment, you know, dealing with the emotional effects, the physical effects, but with the end goal of that sunlight rising and that equaling remission. So for those that are unable to walk with us, we stay the entire night.
What sounds like the most moving event is that luminaria lighting, and people can actually dedicate a candle to someone who was lost from their family.
So we have luminaria bags. They essentially are white bags that you can decorate before or at the event, and they will line our track. And during the luminaria ceremony, at the end of it,
Now that's after dark, right?
it's around 10 o'clock. Yep, around 10 o'clock. And at the end of that ceremony, we do crack glow sticks, and essentially the light comes back alive. So we are kind of lighting that light within, and it's a very moving, touching experience.
Another reason that that you're doing Relay is to empower people, to give them a voice, to make sure that the conversation about finding a cure for cancer is kept alive, especially with the legislature. So, Diane, can you talk a little bit about what happens there? People who are walking or participating in this, are they given information that they can bring back to their local legislators?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're going to have information. Well, there's information on the website. We'll have information at the relay. I mean, they can talk to any of us and ask for our personal stories and why we're there. You know, it's very important that we bring awareness to a very important topic. Most people are touched by cancer, but again, it becomes almost a private family thing instead of becoming a community experience, and that's why we make it a community event, so that everyone realizes they have support, that they're not alone, and that there's many of us that understand what people are going through.
The first relay was, I think, in 1985. Can you
Yes.
tell us the story about how it started?
Absolutely. So Dr. Gordy Klatt in Tacoma, Washington in 1985 decided that he wanted to do something to support cancer patients, and he decided that he would accept pledges for the amount of times that he ran or walked around a track for 24 hours. And so that first year he raised over $27,000 by himself. People came out, cheered him on, and from that a group of friends got involved and created that team-based relay event where it's not just one person, but teams walking the track throughout the night.
Speaking of raising money, we have a question came in by email. The viewer asked, how much money do you hope to raise, and do all proceeds go directly to cancer research?
Sure. So we are, as you mentioned earlier, roughly about $30,500 right now. By Saturday, we're hoping to raise about $40,000. So on our website and then through the event itself, we mentioned those on-site fundraisers and different activities that are happening, people who are giving donations through the website and such. But all proceeds don't go directly to cancer research. The American Cancer Society splits its funds. It goes to research, education materials, so raising awareness regarding prevention, early detection, information about your type of cancer that you may have been experienced or exposed to. And that's all through brochures that you might see in your doctor's office, you know, events like this. Our website, cancer.org, has tons of information. It's such a great resource and tool. It also goes to advocacy efforts and helping empower those volunteers and giving them the right tools to be able to do that. And then also lastly, and I think, you know, we could agree as a committee, we talk a lot about this, but the American Cancer Society funds programs and services locally and nationwide. So an example of this is our Road to Recovery program, which gives cancer patients free rides to and from their treatment if they need it. And that's just one of many. We also have an 800 hotline with a live person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, for any sort of questions, comments, just to talk to someone. And they're the nicest people that you could speak to.
Tell me about the Survivors Lap. That's a part of the relay, is it not? In the beginning, I think?
They're going to be actually walking the track. They'll be doing the first relay and opening, you know, the relay up to everyone else. It's very moving.
And these are people who've had cancer of one type or another and have survived it through chemotherapy or surgery or radiation or whatever.
And we really celebrate our survivors. I mean, we host them in a dinner beforehand. So we have a 5:30 dinner that's for them and whomever they want to bring with them, one companion. And we host them, we celebrate them. We celebrate everything they have gone through. And I think having our survivors there and having them have each other to speak with and having the caregivers there and having caregivers able to share stories and having those that unfortunately have lost loved ones, the ability to communicate with each other and share your story, I think helps everybody with their grieving process where it's necessary, with their acceptance of, okay, I am all right, I'm going to move forward now and I'm going to be stronger than ever. I think it really helps build that resolve. And it's a really important aspect in the sense of a community-wide event.
The money that's been raised is through pledges?
Yes, pledges or just general donations. We've received various amounts of money. So, for example, teams have been selling those Luminaria bags that we mentioned. Those are $10 each and line our tracks, so you can buy them online or in person. You know, maybe you've posted on social media or sent an email.
So you don't have to actually go down to Harbor Island in order to contribute?
No, absolutely not. Our website is actually our best tool, especially for those that can't join us but still want to be a part of it. They can dedicate that Luminaria bag in memory of someone that they know that's been affected by cancer.
Why don't you give the website information out in case people missed it on the screen?
Sure. So our website is www.relayforlife.org/Mamaroneck-NY.
Okay. And if they want more information, is it you they call?
Yeah, they can give me a call at 914-397-8842, or they can give a call to our 800 number, which is 800-227-2345.
Okay. And if people want to volunteer, is that for crowd control or helping people park cars or what?
We don't need them to help us park cars. We don't want them getting injured doing something like that. But we would love to have volunteers help out the day of, you know, whether it's helping us put those Luminaria bags around the track or helping us at our registration tent or just being a part of our event really is what we're looking to expose people to in Mamaroneck. Relay for Life is such a beautiful thing, and we talked about the Survivor Lap, and I get chills. I've been doing this for 12 years, and every single time you break down a little bit because it's such a wonderful event and it gives you that whole wide range of emotions. So to volunteer, we don't need them to park the cars, but if they can come in and be those movers and shakers, we always appreciate the how can I help.
And you said LMC-TV has promised to be there. So hopefully after the event, they will capture, they'll show people here some of what you've just been talking about. And it looks like we've got another question that just came in. Oh yeah. Is the event rain or shine?
Yes, the event is rain or shine, and I have to say, I feel like I'm a connoisseur weather person now. Between all of my phone just knows to go right to weather.com when I pick it up. But the rain, it's looking like it's trending to the south. It's going to be great. So come see what it's all about. We are rain or shine. Just in case, bring it up parka with you, and you're good to go.
Right. And today's your birthday. And happy birthday to you. And are you going to celebrate your birthday also at the relay?
You know what? I'm celebrating everybody having another birthday at Relay. That's the goal of it. So my birthday pales in comparison.
That's a lovely way in which to end this interview. Thank you again for coming down, and the best of luck. And you folks participate. This is the Relay for Life. It's this Saturday, May 21st at Harbor Island Park. And if you can't get down there, the website again, let's give it out, Randy. Oh, I'm sorry. Caitlin, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong person.
Oh, no problem. So it's www.relayforlife.org/Mamaroneck for New York.
Okay. And it's got all the information on it about how you can donate and how you can participate. And don't go away, because there's more of the Local Live coming up right now.
This week in sports, with the regular season winding down, the Rhinebeck baseball team held a 3-0 lead over Chieco Academy of New York. Panthers first baseman Frankie Caparelli helped keep the Unicorns off the board with a stellar recovery in the LMC Varsity Sports Play of the Week.
Let's see if this analogy continues as Liguori deals. Okay, down the first base line. That one is safe. It bounced over the bag. The grab and a beautiful play by Caparelli to stay with the play and getting it over to Liguori for the force out.
Great concentration. Even after the ball bounced off his glove, he was able to regain himself and throw the ball over to Liguori for the out.
He basically had to barehand it after it bounced out of his glove, and then the little flip over to Liguori.
STEMtastic Saturday shows us the talents of our future engineers, scientists, and mathematicians. Rebecca Paganini has the story.
Hello, Larchmont and Mamaroneck. I'm here at Homix Middle School because this weekend is a very special weekend because this Saturday just happens to be
STEMtastic Saturday!
Several booths and stations were set up this Saturday at our local middle school for its annual STEMtastic Saturday. With subjects ranging from nutrition to hoverboards, hundreds of adults and kids alike got to do some hands-on learning. Local businesses and organizations showed their support as well, along with several young entrepreneurs.
So, you made everything on this table yourself.
I always liked making stuff, and I like drawing and art, and I like to make my own things, and I like people to see them.
Oh, smart. So you figured, why not make it into a business?
Well, we created a business called Teen Tech, and in this business, we come to people's houses and assist them with technology questions they might have.
Like parents?
Yeah, parents and elderly people.
Thank you so much.
We actually started out doing it as community service, and we'd have people come to us, but we started getting requests for home visits, so we started doing that.
Later during the festival, 9 groups of creative individuals came together to make a massive Rube Goldberg machine, introduced by the event keynote speaker and inventor, Bob Partington.
This is awesome, isn't it? I love Rube Goldbergs. I love this. I've had a chance to look at some of it. It's going to be really awesome. What's crazy about Rube Goldbergs is how hard they are to make it go all the way from the beginning to end. So if there are any glitches, don't judge.
So, you guys are a team, a squad, shall we say. What's your team name?
The The 21 Balloons Club. Our leader was inspired to do engineering by this book called The 21 Balloons. It teaches you to never give up even if something fails, and that's what we've been working on.
Awesome. And do you guys think you're interested in engineering in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you to everyone who came out today, especially to the STEM Alliance and Homix Middle School, who made this amazing event possible. It is always so fun to see not only kids but adults so pumped up about learning something new. Thanks again, and for the Local Live, I'm Rebecca Paganini.
Looking for some entertainment after your meal? Well, look no further than Pinots Palette on Mamaroneck Avenue. Our own Eli Letterman shares with us the new place to paint and sip.
Where else can you find wine and painting than here at Pinots Palette on Mamaroneck Avenue? We sat down with owner Chad Smith to learn more about his unique business. Coming from corporate America, Chad knew he wanted to open a business that would allow him to connect with his customers, and Pinots Palette did just that. It's a spot to relax, unwind, and let loose, where wine, painting, and friends come together to form a perfect combination. So what made Mamaroneck the right place for his new location?
Mamaroneck to me is the right place because number one, it's a friendly village, and people, really just have accepted us with open arms. But it's also what the Avenue kind of needs. I mean, we've got a lot of great world-class restaurants here, but not a lot of entertainment destinations, and we really wanted to be that to Mamaroneck.
Pinots Palette offers a variety of different experiences for all ages, ranging from kids' classes and family days to corporate events and team building, where you're taken step by step through the featured painting. But of course, the studio's main draw are the adult evenings, where the combination of wine and painting always makes for a good time.
To me, wine and anything is a lot of fun. But when you pair wine with a creative process, you don't need the wine, but it just helps to sort of loosen you up a little bit. To me, the real loosening up process comes when you walk through the door and we greet you as if you're home. And we're just going to spend an evening doing a creative pursuit at home.
While the wine and friends may sound great, the idea of attempting to complete a painting may seem daunting. But Chad assured us that even the most inexperienced artist can still walk out of the studio with a great piece of art.
I promise you that if you were to come in for a night out, you will be a Picasso in no time. Of course, Picasso had an eye here and an ear here. We all know that. But no, you're gonna leave with something that looks very close to what the sample painting looks like that the artist paints along with you. I mean, we break it down, deconstruct it step by step. I mean, you don't have to be a chef to follow a recipe, right? We're gonna give you the recipe for a masterpiece.
Even a novice artist like myself was able to leave the studio with something I could show off. I've had a great time here this afternoon painting my masterpiece. And if you guys at home are looking for a fun place to come and spend some time with friends, you have to come to Pinots Palette. For the Local Live, I'm Eli Letterman.
You're watching The Local Live,
the only news show on Larchmont and Mamaroneck on LMC-TV.
Ellie is a social butterfly who loves to be part of the action. She will move right in and make herself at home. This 3-year-old pastel calico is also up to date on her shots. To adopt Ellie or any of her friends, visit www.ny-petrescue.org. Join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. as we honor our award winners and volunteers who continue to support LMC-TV in our 26th annual awards night. Remember, if you'd like to keep us on air, support our program by checking out our website at www.lmctv.org and click the donate button in the upper right-hand corner. We really appreciate any contribution. We're always welcoming new interns and volunteers, so send your emails to thelocallive@lmctv.org and join us. We love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week for another episode of The Local Live.
Go. Slow. Whoa.
my tit